Hi guys, and welcome to another video. I know I've been away for a very long time, and I wish I could tell you that this won't happen again, but it probably will, purely because I have now figured out exactly what I want to do with my creativity. So you might have noticed in the past few years that I've been going from one piece of creative artwork to another with no real direction. In the beginning of this YouTube channel, I was doing henna, and then I moved on to art, except that my art didn't really have a direction. I was just trying out various things. But eventually, a couple of years ago, I had realized that I really just wanted to illustrate and publish my own books. And now I actually think I have the skill set to put my goals into practice. So the past few months, or at least from February onwards, I have been completely focusing on illustrating and self-publishing my first children's book. And as you can imagine, because it's my first time doing it, there were a lot of trial and error and more errors than anything else. But now I have my completed book, at least the Kindle version. The print version still needs to be checked for its print quality and whether the colors have been converted correctly for the print version. I'm really hoping they have been, because if they haven't, I don't know how to do any better. So that's a story for another video. Let's talk about this video and the illustration you're seeing here. So this illustration is of the father of the little girl who is the main character in my kids' book, bearing in mind that the target audience is ages 3 to 5. So naturally, the parents are just a subsidiary character, and the main character is called Naughty Nisha. The name Nisha is my sister's name, and I originally came up with the title when my sister was irritating me so much, and I just kept thinking, that girl is so naughty, Naughty Nisha. And then I just kept that as a title. And then in 2000, I think it was 2016. Yes, it was, because that's the year my niece was born. And about 6 months before my niece was born, I just randomly sat down and started drawing out a character. It's one of those moments where you start drawing, but you're not thinking. So I didn't go through a design process. I just drew whatever came into my mind. And that happened to be my character today pretty much looks like the character I drew on that day. There might be minor changes, for example, her skin color, because the pencils I had at the time didn't replicate the skin color that I wanted for her. So there are changes in color and proportions. For example, her arm, I drew her arm like it's a gorilla arm, but I've corrected it now and she has shorter arms. But other than minor changes like that, the character that I have today looks pretty much like the character I drew in 2016. And okay, in this video, you're seeing me illustrate the father, which is kind of strange for me to put up first, considering that the main character is the girl. I know I do things backwards all the time, but that's just what you're getting today. And as you can see, I worked digitally for the illustration. Initially, I did want to work by colored pencils, but I was having so much trouble with my wrists that I just couldn't continue coloring. And then in January of this year, my sister bought me a tablet, and that revolutionized everything for me. That finally meant that I could work on a regular basis and put together the illustrations without my wrist having too much pressure put on them. You might therefore see that I work digitally a little bit more, or a lot more I should say, than I have in the past. That doesn't mean I won't be working traditionally. It just means that things that require masses of work, for example, a book that has tons of illustrations in it, they will likely be done digitally, whereas one-off pieces will probably be done by hand. So anyway, my sister buying this tablet for me revolutionized the way I do things, and now I have a book to show you at the end. By the time this video goes up, the Kindle version will be available on Amazon. The print version, however, may not be. That wholly depends on whether the proof copies I have ordered have good colours in them, not necessarily exact colours as the Kindle version, but colours that look good, aesthetically pleasing, I should say, when you look at it. As long as I like what I'm seeing, then I'll be fine with it, even if the colours are completely different to the Kindle version. Anyhow, the reasoning behind me creating this book, this particular story, is because I feel like Muslims, me being a Muslim myself, are just represented like we're the biggest arseholes in this world, and we all know that the minority doesn't represent the majority, and I'm happy to tell you that I'm not a terrorist, and I want people to know that Muslims out there aren't terrorists. You know, terrorism is not an Islam thing, it's actually a human thing. Anyone in the world can be a terrorist, because the definition of terrorism isn't Islam, you know. I won't go into too much detail about that, but basically I wanted stories of Muslims out there to show you guys that actually the vast majority of us are normal people. We aren't sitting there tinkering with devices to build a bomb, you know. We're just normal people going about our normal daily lives, and that's what I wanted to represent in this story series, because it is hopefully going to become a series. I wanted to show you guys that Muslim parents, they pretty much parent like other parents. They just have values that are different. And that's okay. You can have values that are different as long as you don't try and shove them down other people's throats. So these characters are Muslims. Obviously, you can't tell from looking at Naughty Nisha and the father, but the mother does have a hijab on her head, which, you know, Muslim women don't have to have hijabs on their head, but I wanted to make it absolutely obvious that this is a Muslim family, and so I did put a hijab on her, because I can't exactly put a hijab on the guy, you know, and I didn't want him walking around in traditional Islamic gear, because Muslims don't do that on a daily basis. So yeah, that's really the reasoning for why I wanted to create this character in the first place. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to say anything more for this video other than no, nothing else. That's it. So thank you guys for watching, and please do look forward to future videos where I do talk about this book. And if you like the concept and you like the illustrations, then please do consider buying the book if you are able to, and spreading the book around, you know, letting people know about it, so that if they want to buy it, they could do as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.